Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being with us today. Another day with the Reverse Show. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah for allowing us to be here today and every day as usual from 4 o'clock until 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, right here on 1440 AM WMKM. Today's show is also another topic that is going to hit close to home to a lot of people, especially those who have children. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, my dear listeners, all who are listening or watching. First of all, I want to thank you for being a part of the show and being the success of this show and being the reason why we are here. Alhamdulillah. And I want to remind you that this show is brought to you by the Becca Foundation, can be found on becca.org, BECKAH.org. This foundation is founded specifically for the community, to serve the community, and this is one of the projects of this Becca Foundation is directed directly to the families, community, society, everybody that can listen to this. Today, we're talking about a very close enemy, an enemy that we actually let into our homes. This enemy, my dear brothers, my dear sisters, everybody listening, this enemy is working very hard. This enemy is working very strong. This enemy does not stop working. They are always working to try to take advantage of us. This enemy doesn't target regular people. This enemy only targets those who are defenseless, those who don't know how to decide, how to make decisions. This enemy, my dear brothers, targets our children. And this enemy enters our home by something that we pay for, something that we bring close to our children. This enemy, my dear brothers, comes through the screens of iPads, iPhones, flip phones, fold phones, any kind of device that you have given to your children that has access to the internet. This enemy, my dear brothers, is a predator that's working very hard and very smart, strategically trying to trick these children into answering their messages on the private chats, on the inboxes, whether it's email, direct message, or a live chat on the internet. My dear brothers, this enemy is working day and night trying to take advantage of our children. So, once again, what we target here is we target community issues, problems, and we try to find the solution according to the revelation of the Creator, the revelation that was passed on to us by our prophets, our messengers. These predators, they work hand in hand with Satan. These predators are working very close to Satan, the devil. Why? Because that's his main goal, is to take our children and use them against their will, against their families, and use them in ways we don't know. That's why there's a lot of issues behind this. There's a lot of people trying to fight this. There's a lot of people not knowing about this. That's the problem. So in this show, inshallah, we try to tackle as much of this topic as possible. This is an open platform for people to discuss. This is an open platform for people to give us their opinion. This is an open platform for people to call in. If you are a local Detroiter, you can call 313-871-6094, 313-871-6094, where you can call in. You tell me what your thoughts are. Do you have children? Do you have someone who's under this kind of risk or danger? Do you allow your children to take this iPad or phone or even on the TV, playing Roblox or Fortnite or whatever game that's out there? Do you allow them to play and not watch them? If you do, then this show is for you. You got to pay attention, you got to stay close, and tell me what your thoughts are. If I made a mistake, hey, I try to gather some information as close to my knowledge as possible, and I try to take statistics under consideration as well, and I try to enlighten and shed light on how we should be tackling these issues and how we should be solving these problems. So let's go to the basics. First of all, there's a digital playground. Back in the day, we used to send our kids outside to play in the playground, the actual physical playground. But today, my dear brothers, my dear sisters, our children's playground today is in the palm of their hands, my dear brothers. It's either being held with one hand or it's actually being held with two hands, regardless. It's a handheld device that they consider their playground. Why? Because they feel like they can do so much within this playground. And at the same time, they connect with so many people, my dear brothers. So this is very important for us to understand. The playground today is digital. It's a digital playground. And children nowadays are spending hours on end online every day, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Roblox, Fortnite, Discord. And for those who are currently listening or watching on Facebook or TikTok or YouTube, this is for you. This internet has been created and innovated for us and invented for us to use. And it's been used for so many different things and so many different purposes. Just like regular life, just like real life that we are living in, people are using their platforms for so many different reasons. But let me tell you, the main incentive, the main motive of the internet, most likely, number one is wealth. Another one is fame. And another one is desires. These platforms may look innocent, but at a very large scale, they're not regulated. They are not regulated. So be very careful. Predators know where the kids are. They know exactly how to catch these kids. They know exactly how to bring these kids in slowly but surely. And when the kids are very naive and very young, they don't know better. They haven't experienced life. Then they may fall for these tricks. And that's why we need to be very careful. A Guardian study found that there are 19% of children aged 10 to 15 in England and Wales have messaged with strangers. 19% of these children, we're talking about over, I'm just guessing, over a billion gamers out there. 19% of these children ages 10 to 15 have messaged a stranger online. Nearly 1/3 of online gamers talk to strangers while playing. And sometimes kids like the idea of these games or gaming platforms because they can talk to strangers without nobody noticing and nobody seeing nothing. Yet only half tell their parents. Of the third of who's online currently, only half tell their parents that they actually talked to someone, especially when they have been exposed or when they have been caught red-handed talking to strangers. That is something that would allow the parents to sit down with them and say, hey, listen, I saw that you've been talking to somebody that's strange and that's very dangerous, and we've got into some trouble, or we find out that this person is troubled, or we find out that you are putting yourself at risk by talking to these strangers. So that's sometimes how these kids are getting caught. But they're not really coming to their parents to tell them, hey, I was talking to a stranger today. Video games today are not just regular games, they're tactics. They're live, they're interactive, and they have interactive chat rooms where strangers can whisper into the ears of the children just like the devil can. My dear brothers, this is serious. This is dangerous. This is a matter of you losing your children. This is a matter of you missing out on a danger that may attack your children. And we've heard so many stories out there, so many stories that breaks our heart. And we are victims of this. We are victims of this every day. We have children. We allow them to be online. We allow them to use these internet, these games and stuff like that. We are not being watchful. And in the revelation, the latest revelation, God tells us, do not follow the footsteps of Shaitan. Do not follow the footsteps of Satan. Do not follow the footsteps of the devil. Indeed, he is to you a clear enemy. And what's fueling these games, these private chats, these innocent kids' chats, what's fueling them is this Satan trying to take advantage of these children. So we have to be very careful. Just as Satan takes small steps to mislead, predators do the same thing. They use small steps, friendly gestures, a compliment, a gift in the game to start their trap. So we have to be very careful. We're going to go into the tactics of these predators right after we mention our sponsors of the show. My dear brothers, the show is brought to you, like we said, by our own Becca Foundation. As we have mentioned before, Becca Foundation is the foundation that's sponsoring the show, alhamdulillah. And this is the show that basically is doing the job of reaching out to the community, reaching out to the people, young or old. We are reaching out to Detroit and everywhere online. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, Becca Foundation can be found at BECKAH, Becca.org. And once you go in there, you can find out all the things that we do. Alhamdulillah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to continue giving and to continue doing this work. Second beloved sponsor is Waterford Check Cashing. It could be found at 5433 Dixie Highway, Waterford, Michigan. They specialize in what others can't. Cashing large checks instantly, business checks cashed on the spot, no holds, no waiting, personal checks, payroll checks, and more. No check too big, no check too small. Make sure you go visit them if you need your checks cashed. Don't let the bank hold your funds. Bring your checks to Waterford Check Cashing and walk out with your cash today. Call them at 248-623-0590, 248-623-0590. Our second or third sponsor is Old Mill Inn of Clarkston, lakefront getaway with an up north feel. Make sure you go take advantage of what they have to offer. Stay with them at the Old Mill Inn in Clarkston and enjoy cozy lakefront rooms, kayaks, paddle boats, and a sandy beach area, all included at no extra charge. A peaceful getaway just minutes from Bloomfield Hills, just minutes from Rochester, just minutes from Detroit, just minutes from wherever you are, if you can hear me today locally. And guest reviews are the top 5-star hotel type of reviews. Spend the day by the water, then spend the night at their Lakefront Inn. You can find them at 5835 Dixie Highway, Clarkson, 248-623-0300, 248-623-0300. And our other, last but not least, is Michigan Community Pharmacy is our sponsor for today as well. They are proud to be the top rated pharmacy in Waterford with over 200 five-star reviews and counting. They offer free same-day delivery to Pontiac, Waterford, White Lake, Clarkson, surrounding areas as well. Patients also enjoy free blister packs, and every diabetic patient receives a free glucose monitor. So if you have diabetes, this is the place to go. Plus, new members get $20 in-store credit. Don't wait. Transfer your prescription today. Call them at 248-618-3912, 248-618-3912. They're located at 5812 Highland Road in Waterford, Michigan, right by the Green Lantern Pizza and Firehouse Subs. Make sure you call them because certain restrictions may apply. Now, back to our show and back to what we have been talking about, which is how predators may take advantage of our children online, gaming platforms, and social media platforms, and any other platform that's online. Be very careful. Make sure you are watchful. Make sure you are paying attention. Make sure that you are safeguarding your children. So, the second thing that we want to talk about is some of the tactics that predators use. Some of the tactics that predators use. So, first of all, grooming. Predators build trust. They pretend to be friends. They start talking very nice, often posing as a teen. So they could be a 40-year-old person, but acting like he or she is a teen and he or she is your friend or your child's friend in this matter. They move chats from public to private. Why? So they can take their time and they could take advantage and they can't be shy using certain words. Then they go into text, then they go into call, then they go into video call. And that's how it all starts. It all starts. They exploit loneliness and curiosity in children. This is very scary. This is very serious. This is very dangerous. They are looking for words to attack these children with. They're looking for words that can bring the best out of these children to their advantage. So they're looking for loneliness and curiosity in children, and children are always curious. Children are always trying to try something out. In 2024, NCMEC received over 546,000 reports of grooming, which is 192% increase from 2023. That's crazy. That's doubled. It's not doubled, actually, more than that. 192% increase. So this is a major increase. It's not 100% only. It's major increase, 192% increase from 2023. FBI data, at any given time, there are 50,000 predators out there online actively seeking children. They're seeking the prey. These wolves, these foxes, whatever you want to call them, these predators are out there. At any given moment online, there's at least 50,000 predators actively seeking children. This is according to FBI data. You realize what we're looking at? You realize what we're going against? There are 50,000 predators that are trying to reach your child or the game that's your child playing on. And what they're doing within this search, they look for children who are naive. children who are looking for friends, children who are willing to speak to anybody. And that's how, my dear brothers, my dear friends, my dear listeners, these children will fall prey for these predators. Now, in the Revelation, God tells us through his prophet. So the prophet is inspired to tell us this by means of something called hadith, or something called the speech of the prophet, basically. He says, every one of you, every one of me, you, everybody that's listening that got children, every one of you is a shepherd. And every one of you will be asked about his or her flock. Our flock today is not only the park, in the park or schoolyard. It is on TikTok, it is on the PlayStation, it is on YouTube, and all that. The internet is full of these predators. It is full of these predators, and it's not safe. So please be very careful. These kids are watching YouTube. These kids are watching these shorts on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. These kids are watching these chats on different gaming platforms. But these kids don't understand that there are many predators out there that is hiding in the dark, trying to take advantage of our children. We are the shepherds to our flock. Our flock is our children. Our flock is our loved ones. Our flock is our employees. You look at the employees sometimes with the employer, and they tell them, be careful. Do not answer phishing emails. Be careful. Identify spam emails. Be careful. Identify scammers. Same thing with your children. You have to do that. You have to let these kids know that there are scammers out there. There are people who are trying to take advantage of children. So be careful. Do not allow these people to take advantage of you. Do not allow these people to take advantage of your kindness, of your ignorance. Do not allow these people to take advantage. Why? Because they're out there. 50,000 predators are out there at any given moment online. So the moment that you send your kids online, you allow them to go online to play one of these games, remember, there are 50,000 predators, and this is the least number. There could be up to 100,000. There could be up to 150,000. There could be up to 500,000. We never know. And we never know if they are on the same platform as your kids are, or they're about to come in to try to look into what they can do with these kids. So we have to remember what the prophet said, the messenger said. He said, every one of us is a shepherd, and every one of us will be asked on his or her flock. So whoever you're responsible for, if you are responsible for children, if those children are your own children, if they're your own students, if you're just watching over them, be very careful. Be very careful. Make sure you're taking care of your responsibility, and make sure you're taking care of your flock. Now, how do we know that there's some issues happening? And this is coming from specialists. The number one thing we have to realize that there are warning signs. There are warning signs when it comes to children being affected by these predators. There are warning signs. And these warning signs must be known by us. Otherwise, we won't be able to know if we have been affected by this predator or not, or we're just being targeted. So, the warning signs are as follows. Children become secretive about online activity. That's a given, right away. So be very careful. The moment that your kids are playing games, and as soon as you walk into the room, then they are kind of hiding stuff, being secretive about what they are doing online. You ask them what's going on. Oh, nothing. Everything's good, whatever. And it happens. Another thing is hiding screens, shutting laptops quickly, or turning the laptops against you, away from the responsible person, away from the adults. Why? Because they're afraid somebody might see them. They're afraid that somebody might notice what they're doing and they might catch them. And this also comes from the predator. The predator always tells them, do not let people know about this. Do not allow people to notice or see or read or know what you did or what you're doing or what you're about to do. Why? Because they're going to stop you. Oh, you're going to get in trouble. Oh, you're going to do this. You're going to do that. So be very careful. Once you start seeing these signs of children hiding screens, children being secretive about online activity, children trying to do things away from you all the time, then know there's something going on. Know there's something going on, and that's a warning sign for you and I to start being careful, to start paying closer attention, to getting more engaged and more involved in your family, in your children's daily activities and daily routines online. Another one is receiving unexplained gifts, credits, money. That, my dear friends, my dear brothers, is a big no no. Once you start seeing that your children are receiving all these new gifts, these new credits on the gaming platforms, this some money just came up out of nowhere. This kid has some money. Where'd you get that money from? Oh, I got it from a friend. Who's that friend? Oh, I met them here or there. Obviously, they're not gonna tell you right away where they met him at, but then there is the warning sign, and then you have to start looking deeper into the issue. Otherwise, you are going to start losing your children. Another sign, which is a very important sign, and a sign that may require new steps. Mood changes. Mood changes with your children. What does that mean? Once you start talking to your children and you asking about things that's going on online and asking about different, asking different questions, then they start snapping right away. They start changing right away. They start getting mad at you right away. They don't want to finish talking. They want to withdraw from the conversation. They start having sudden angers, and then they start having anxiety. Anxiety is what Satan wants to happen to these children. Anxiety, and then they become very stressful, and then these kids start becoming depressed, and these kids start acting weird all of a sudden. And that, my dear brothers, my dear friends, are some of the warning signs. There are many other warning signs that a lot of family members may notice that we don't know about yet. A lot of family members have research that I probably didn't touch upon yet. If you have some warning signs that you can share with us, please share. Please let us know. Please communicate with us. This is serious. This is a matter that is touching everybody close to home. This is something that affects everybody, as involving everybody. So we all need to work very close to each other. We all need to help each other. Back in the day, they used to say, streets help the parents raise the children. Back in the day when we used to play in the streets and somebody would say a bad word, somebody from the surrounding neighbors or from the people, the adults that's in the area would say, yo, watch your mouth, son. Watch your mouth. Why? Because they cared about the children on the streets. They knew that they had children like us, and they cared about what we have said. And they didn't want their children to hear somebody say something bad. So the streets used to raise with the families, because the families are allowing their children to go out in the playground and play. Now, don't get me wrong, there were predators back then as well. There are predators today. But predators today are playing a different game. Predators today are online, hiding behind closed doors, behind the screen, and seeking these children much easier than before. Before they had to go outside the house, they had to look for a secure area. They have to look for a place where it's quiet and easy to access these children. But since there were always people around, then it was kind of hard for people back then to actually attack and for predators to do what they could do today. So now it's becoming more dangerous. It's becoming riskier. It's becoming easier for predators to take advantage of children, even adults as well. People are being taken advantage of by predators. People are being taken advantage of by these scammers and these thieves who take their money online because they have tactics and they know how to attack these people. Another warning sign is for children to stay up all night or stay up very late at night. Why? Because they're either playing a game, they're either communicating with people, because these predators, they know to communicate with these children when the adults are sleeping, because these predators are cowards as well. So they want to take advantage. They want to take advantage when it's least when it's least seen by anybody else. So that's why we need to be very careful. We need to be very watchful of our children and make sure that we keep an eye out for our children. There's a statistics that says that the FBI have tracked 13,000 sextortion cases. 13,000 sextortion cases in just 18 months. Listen to that. 13,000 sextortion cases in just 18 months, mostly boys, and linked at least 20 suicides directly to these crimes. So you see where the funnel is and how the funnel plays. We don't pay attention to our children. Then our children are using these platforms, and they're not very careful, of course, because they are very, what's the word? They're easily manipulated by words. They're very easily dragged into different conversations online. They're kids. They don't know better. Even those who do know a little bit better, these predators know how to drag them in nicely and slowly. That's why there are 13,000 in the past 18 months. There are 13,000 sextortion cases, mostly boys, and 20 of them cases led to suicide, directly to suicide. So, my dear brothers, this is heartbreaking. This is hitting close to home. Anybody that has children need to be worried. Anybody that has children need to be worried, and we need to be very careful because this is serious and this is very dangerous. And this is very dangerous. Now, God never allowed for anyone to kill children, and God never allowed for anyone to directly influence the killing of children. God looks down with anger upon those who kill innocent people, especially children. And that's why what's going on overseas in Gaza, Sudan, the Congo, and many different places where children are being murdered and killed. Children are being killed and murdered by people who don't fear God, by people who don't believe in God at some point, by people who are worshipers of wealth and worshipers of leaders who are basically ordering these soldiers to kill these children. This is clear oppression, and God definitely looks down on these people with anger, because killing innocent people point blank is not lawful in any revelation that came down from God the Creator. But specifically, children, women, and senior citizens, older folks who don't have any ways of defending themselves, even men who don't have any means of defending themselves, killing them is not ever allowed in any revelation in the history of mankind. And children are the most innocent of those humans, and killing them or being a reason for their murder or for their suicide is even higher and higher in punishment in the eyes of God, because they are innocent, and God told us to protect them and not allow them to get any of these harmful attacks from predators. While the verses of the Quran, the verses of all revelation that ever came down to humans, speaks of physical killing and prohibiting physical killing of any children, we must also protect them from the spiritual and emotional destruction that comes from unchecked online harm. My dear brothers, the idea of a spiritually and emotionally damaged children is very scary for the society. It's very scary for our community. Crime rates may rise with more emotionally and spiritually damaged kids, whether it's boys or girls. If these children get emotionally damaged, spiritually damaged, then we're gonna have a big problem in our community. We will have a big problem in our society, my dear brothers. This is a serious issue. This is a serious matter that we need to look closely to, and that's the bottom line. We are responsible. We are the responsible ones, and we are the ones that has to be that gotta pay attention, because the little ones, they don't know better. They're children. We go into the next segment, which is basically how to protect these children. Protecting our children, my dear brothers, is our responsibility, like we said. And protecting them, these children, is not an easy task, by the way. But we could do it. If we work together, the mother and the father, the older children, the older brothers, older sisters, the uncles, the aunties, everybody work together. Everybody remind each other. Everybody help each other. We could do this. First thing is keeping devices in common places, in open places. Okay? So this is very important. If we want to make sure that nobody is attacking our children, we got to be able to see these screens, right? So that's why you want to have your children play games. Make sure there's a big open screen in front of everybody, that everybody can see what's going on the screen. We also can use technology to protect our children by using parental controls. It's there. These people also thought about this, and they respected our family values. So they created family controls, but we can't rely 100% on these family controls. Why? Because it's still software. It is still software that could be hacked, that could be manipulated with people who know how to play games with these software um, device or software programs. We have to talk, we have to listen, and we have to guide. We have to talk to our kids. We have to listen to our kids. We have to guide our kids on how we can make sure that they are safe, that they're doing okay. Another thing is we have to teach our kids not to accept gifts or private chats from strangers. It's a no-no. It has to be a big no-no. Not to accept gifts or not to accept going into private chats with anyone who's a stranger to us. Why? Because that's a disaster that's waiting to happen. You let them know there are many kids out there that are being attacked and targeted by these predators. So we have to be very careful, and we cannot allow these predators to take advantage of us. Another thing is encourage offline hobbies such as sports, reading, volunteering. And this is something that at the Becca Foundation, we are proud to say that we have a big project. And if you go on to our website, we have a big project that is called Give a Book, Take a Book campaign, where you can bring a book to our library or bookshelf, drop it off, voluntarily donate it, and or come to our bookshelf, to our library, and pick up a book. Pick up a book to read. Instead of staying on the screen all the time, come and grab a book. We have all kinds of books to give. Children books, adults books, books of good purpose, books that make sense, books that have positive messages in those books. Sports, there are many leagues out there, many tournaments out there. I know sometimes some of these leagues, some of these tournaments are pretty expensive, pretty pricey. Sometimes it's the price that you have to pay to protect your children. You have to keep them busy. You have to keep them going. Otherwise, they're going to get bored. They're going to want to do something. What is easiest to do is let me have the iPad. Let me grab the video game. Let me do, play Fortnite or get on Roblox or something like that. Be very careful. Be very careful. Be very watchful. Volunteering is very important as well. Volunteering in different community events, helping clean up the streets of your neighborhood, helping in your mosque, in your church, in your synagogue, wherever you are, whoever you are, at least make sure that these kids are helping. At least they get this feel that they help someone. That's a good feeling. When you feel like you help someone and you build that in your children's lifestyle, it builds that character, the attribute that helping people is very good and very rewarding. And that's why it's very encouraged to allow these children to help and volunteer so they can build that character in their lives. Another thing, which is something I like to do, and I like to at least watch to understand what these games are. Play the games with them. Try to play the game or influence what the kids are doing on the game. If they're playing whatever game it is, try to work with these kids on their games and to see what worlds they are entering within these games. Because these games are like a rabbit hole. Once you start with one, you're gonna dive into another and another and another and just keep going. It's it's endless. It keeps on going and going. It's unbelievable. So understand these games. Try to understand at least. Maybe it's not easy for us older folks who are watching their kids play these games. It's not easy for us to understand the full idea of the game. But if you spend more time with these children to figure out what the games are, you can understand what these games may lead to. There's the University of Edinburgh found that there are 830,000 young people globally are daily at risk of grooming, sextortion, or online exploitation. Nearly 1 million people, nearly 1 million young people globally, all over the world. I think the number is low still. I think it's much more than that. They all are at risk of grooming, sextortion, and or online exploitation. Why? Because we are out there. We are doing everything that we can to live this life. And some people, like we said, they're living their life just to play games for the fun and games. And if they find a way, if they find a fun way to spend the time during the day, then they will do everything they can to make sure that they use that fun because they think life is all about fun and games. And that's when you have to try to get in and get engaged with these children's lifestyle. So 830,000 people globally, we're talking about young people, are at risk daily. We're talking about daily. We're not talking about a year. We're not talking about a month. We're talking about daily. At risk of grooming, sextortion, and or exploitation. And we look at the revelation of God, the revelation of the Almighty, the revelation of our Creator that knows exactly what we are and what we are built upon. He says, O you who believed, protect yourselves and your families from a hellfire whose fuel is people and stones. It's a scary scene. It's a scary scene, my dear brothers, my dear sisters, my friends and family and listeners. This is a scary scene. There's a hellfire that is fueled by people and stones on the day of judgment for those who do wrong, for those wrongdoers, those who may take advantage of people, those who allow their loved ones to be taken advantage of and not care for them. So we need to be very careful. This is our command. Protect yourselves and your families, your loved ones. God is telling us to protect ourselves and our families. Not only to feed them, not only to clothe them, but to guard their souls and their hearts. We're paying top dollar for that internet. We're paying top dollar for those devices, my dear brothers, my dear friends. But then when we look back and we see what these devices are doing, when we look back and we see what this internet is doing, what doors it's opening for us or for the predators to come in and attack our children, if we see it that way, then I think we're going to back off a little bit. We're going to allow for the internet to be cut off for a little bit. We're going to allow for that phone or that device to be taken away from our children for a little bit. Why? Because we see the danger that's out there. My dear brothers, our community has a big responsibility. Schools must teach digital safety. I swear. Schools all over the world must teach digital safety every day. The mosques, the churches, the synagogues, all gotta run workshops. And we are ready to work with different organizations to run these workshops to protect our children. At Becca Foundation, if you want to contact us, communicate with us, and we will run a workshop to make sure that our children are safe digitally. Parents need to form support groups where everybody got to work together to make sure that we protect our children. Leaders should demand stronger protection from tech companies. We need to demand from our leaders to demand this from the tech companies. We need to have safer playgrounds for our children. And the incentive shouldn't be just the money. The incentive should be a safe and a safer playgrounds for our children. Protecting children is not just personal, it's collective. It's a community work. Everybody got to work together mutually. Our prophets say, all the prophets, they have almost the same message. From Adam, peace be upon him, all the way down to the last and sealing prophet and messenger, which is Muhammad, peace be upon him. All prophets state the same thing. They say, or the meaning of it is that, but this technically was said by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, where he says, all the believers in their mutual love, mercy, and compassion are like a single body. And we mentioned this saying many times. If one limb suffers, the whole body responds with sleeplessness and fever. When one child suffers, my dear brothers, my dear community members, from an online harm, the whole community should feel it and respond and help out and support. Why? Because this is a serious matter. This is a matter of community issue. This is a matter of a society issue that we all need to work together on. That way we can protect our children. My dear brothers, this has been a big topic, and this cannot stop here. This is just something that I'm touching upon. This is a scratch of a surface. My dear brothers, the big picture is that social media and games are designed to be addictive. And this is serious. This is real. It's designed to be addictive. The algorithms are not neutral. They profit from children's attention. And if you ever played a children's game, you will see that the type of ads that generate and that come in front of you versus the type of ads that come in front of you if you are an adult player are different. So be very careful. They attack these children's attention. They're very, like I said, they're very naive children. They don't know better. But these algorithms, they know exactly how to attack them. So that's why we need to be very careful. Exposure leads to anxiety, depression, and body image issues. So once anxiety starts hitting these children, once depression starts hitting these children, we are in trouble. These children are going to be in trouble. These children are going to start suffering, and we don't want that to happen. So CSAM, hold on one second, guys. Okay. CSAM, Child Sexual Abuse Material, reports to NCMEC a different method of surveys and reports, they say that there has been a big increase in child sexual abuse materials, 7% since 2019. Even platforms like Roblox saw exploitation cases jump from 675 in 2019 up to 24,000. From 625 in 2019 up to 24,000 in 2024. Almost 5 years, you get 24,000 jump from 675. That's crazy. These exploitation cases are happening every day. So we have to be very careful. We have to bring the remembrance of God, the Almighty, the revelation to our children, to our families. We have to remind each other. We have to remind each other of remembering our Creator. We have to remind each other of the revelation, my dear brothers. Strengthen spiritual identity. Children who know God, who know the Creator, are harder to be deceived rather than those who are far from the Creator and far from the revelation. Teach them to ask their Lord. Teach them to ask their God to keep them safe, to read the revelation, to stay aware that God, the Almighty, can see everything, can see everyone. We have to be very, very encouraging to these children to read and to know what the prophets say. Build that trust between you and your kids. Let the kids share the mistakes with you. Allow them to share the mistakes with you so you can help them find the true way. And we should always try to work with each other to help each other to protect our children. This topic, my dear brothers, cannot stop at 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours. This topic, my dear brothers, is a lifelong topic that cannot stop. We always got to keep talking because predators always change. Predators are very strong and they're very smart with many tactics. So we have to learn their tactics. We have to learn how they are dealing and how they are plotting for our children. We have to learn how to keep them away from our children and protecting our children from them. My dear brothers, the show has been brought to you by Becca Foundation, the Old Mill Inn of Clarkston, Michigan Community Pharmacy, as well as Waterford Check Cashing. Make sure you go to our website, Becca Foundation, Becca.org, BECKAH.org, and you will see all our sponsors in the front page. If you want to become a sponsor, please holler at us, contact us by going to the website. And please don't forget, subscribe to our social media, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and go to our website and communicate with us and see if you can help out, whether it's volunteering, whether it's financially, whether it's non-cash type of donations. We take all kinds of donations. We take cars as donations. We take electronics as donations. We take books as donations. And we take clothes as donations. We are Becca Foundation, and we are here with you to guide you and to guide ourselves towards a better life, better lifestyle. We ask God, Allah the Almighty, to bring down peace and to protect us up throughout our lives. Thank you very much, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Peace.